All right, so as we get going, if there's questions during the presentation, feel free to raise your hand and we can answer them. If it gets to be a lot of questions, just to keep it going, we might just keep going, and then at the very end, I'll take as many as you possibly could ask. My flight's not until 12:30 tonight, so we got all night to answer questions and keep this thing going. So my name is Tom Rowan, and I own Envision Tees in Dubuque, Iowa. I started 12 years ago in my parents' basement, and in 10 years we grew the business from 0 to $5 million in sales. And in the last couple of years, we've implemented web stores and have gone from, basically our first year of $30,000 in web stores to well over $500,000 just in web stores in 2017. So my key goal for this is everyone to get at least one little nugget that you can take back and implement in your shop. So selling with InkSoft web stores, how to market your online stores to drive your business and increase your profits. 3 topics I'll be covering today is how to market your stores to customers using social media channels, how to incorporate non-social media marketing too, and how to connect your marketing efforts to sales. So I'll be sharing with you how we 10x our online sales in just 4 years, going from 55,000 to over 500,000 in 2017. And how we're planning on 10xing it again the next 4 years and going to 5 million. And the whole thing behind this and the power of these stores is, if you look at Amazon, you look at what everyone else is doing right now on the online space, it's whoever can make it the easiest for your customer to order is going to win. So the key is make it as easy as possible for them to order, not just order, but pay you money. Right now, you can go on your phone, you can order Amazon, you can have something shipped, and it could probably be on my doorstep by the time I get home tomorrow or Monday. So the easiest way to order is the key here. And I'm going to show you a few things that we do to make it easy on our customers to order. So, types of stores. You guys all probably have some sort of web store out there. I'm going to talk about the 4 primary types of stores that we use on a daily basis and the benefits of each of those types of stores. So there's team stores. A lot of people are probably using team stores. Anyone out here using team stores? Hands? Okay. Company stores, corporate, larger corporate stores. Client stores. That's a little different perspective that we do. So hopefully that will help you. And fundraising stores. So every store has a function and a market, so knowing who that target is and the type of store that fits them best will really enhance the success of those stores. So first I'm going to talk about team stores. So team stores, really the coaches come in, and the problem with coaches is they love coaching. They don't want to deal with money. They don't want to deal with orders. They don't want to deal with apparel, and just don't want to deal with it. So when you can tell a coach that you can set up the store for them, the store is going to collect the money, you're going to collect the orders. When you get that order done, you're going to individually bag it and everything else and deliver it back to the school, and all they got to do is hand it out. The coach is thinking, hell yeah, let's do that. So team stores make it as easy as possible on the coaches. So the old way of doing it, we used to do paper order forms. And the problem with paper order forms is we get them back in. I can't read half of the time that people are putting, if it is a youth large or it's an extra large. I can't tell if it's a Y or an X. I can't read the last name on half of them. You're trying to decipher people's chicken scratch. With the online stores, you're not trying to decipher that stuff because it's all done on the computer. The other problem with the order forms is you got a big stack of order forms. Somebody has to enter those in. So you're tallying them up, you're order entering it, you're putting them into an Excel spreadsheet. You have one more step where you could possibly screw something up and enter the wrong thing in. So some different things that we do the team stores for. Another thing that we found, going from order forms to team stores online, our average order value went up immensely. So on the paper order forms, our average player down a team order form was like $45. With the team store online, our average player is ordering $65. So it increases the total sale for that team. And the reason for that is they're on a paper order form. You usually have the artwork mocked up, and you have your list of different items, and they don't visually see everything. And people are very visual. They want to see what that item looks like, what that hoodie looks like mocked up, if you're doing that print on a black hoodie, and if you offer that same print on maybe a charcoal or a red hoodie. And with the online stores, you can have all those different mock-ups there, and when they can visually see that, it entices them to buy more. So some different specialty events that we do with these team stores: homecoming, powder puff. We set up alumni stores for the homecoming parade, breast cancer awareness games. So most times people think of as team stores right at the beginning of the season. You get the football's coming up, and a couple months before the season starts, you start that team store. So these are other ones in addition to the main team store. So you start your main team one, you open and close that before the season starts, and then you find these other ones that you can do throughout the season. The big one, sub-state and post-state. So another thing with this part of it, so here's where you can really capitalize on this, and I'll talk about it a little bit later, but part of the marketing of this is when you first collect that team store, and this is very powerful, and a lot of people probably aren't doing this, is you've got 100 kids on the football team. You've got 100 email addresses right now. So when that football team makes the state playoffs, you can easily email those 100 people right away the new link to the state football shirt, and they're ready to order. So the old way was let the coach know, hey, here's your state football shirt, and you're just kind of randomly doing it. So this new way is you grab those 100 email addresses, you shoot it out to them right away, and you're able to directly market to not just the coach who's one customer, but all 100 customers that ordered from you the first time around. Same thing goes on the next season for that sport.
Tom?
Yes?
Are you doing that without coach's permission? Like you're just like, they made state, let's make a shirt, let's put it out there? Or are you trying to drive that back to the coach?
We'll let the coach know. We'll just say, hey, when you guys make state, he's gonna let everyone know too. They'll hang a flyer at the school. But we also actively do that because otherwise you get your stragglers. The kid didn't tell his parents that they were doing shirts, whatever. So we can actively go to whoever the buyer was. So if mom's the one that always buys the shirts for the kid or for the family, mom's getting that direct email in case the kid didn't come home and say, hey, we got state shirts to order. It's fast turnaround time for the playoffs. We need this order done by Wednesday, and kid gets busy and tells mom on Thursday, and the order was cut off already.
Question?
Yeah.
Do you need to incentivize the schools, the coaches, et cetera, financially or otherwise?
So incentivizing the coaches.
The team get a cut.
Yeah, so you can do it. The great thing is you can easily mark them up. So most of our team stores, the coach is marking it up and making some money on it. Not for the coach, but for the program.
But how do you manage that transaction?
We let them know. We ask them ahead of time. We just say, hey, here's what your pricing is going to be. Do you guys want this as basically a fundraising store, or how do you want it? How do you want to do it? Just want to, if it's a $6 shirt, do you want to sell it for $6, or do you want to sell it for $10 and make $4? And then at the end, we're easily tally that of what was charged basically on the retail versus what the wholesale price is for that the coach would be paying. And then once they're all done, we write a check back to the school on how much they raised. So here's the tale of two teams. Team 1 made state playoffs. We had two high schools in our town that made state basketball 2 years ago. And Team 1 called in. They ordered 800 shirts. And that was sweet. We got them on the press. We pulled them. We got printing right away. Team 2, we did an online store for it, and we offered 6 products, and we sold a total of 836 shirts. Both of them pretty much the exact same press time. Now here's how we made a bunch of money. Team 1. So just for the sake of the presentation, I didn't add a lot of overhead in, and I kept it pretty basic when it comes to things. So Team 1, they had 800 shirts. They sold them at the school, out of the office or whatever for $10 each, and they made $8,000 in sales on their state basketball shirts. And we charged them $6 a shirt. They raised a total of $3,200 for the basketball team. Like I said, our hard good cost, let's say it's a $2 shirt. And so we made a $3,200 profit as well. Team number 2, set up the web store for them. Quick turnaround on that, but they had 412 t-shirts, 92 long sleeves, 84 dry fits, 56 crew necks, 124 hoodies, and 68 dry fit hoodies, totaling $14,648 in sales. The team cost broken down there, total cost of the team was $10,956. Amount of money raised, $3,692. So the team actually made an additional $492. You go back down to what we made, and I was able to take my wife out to dinner that night. So the power of the web store was being able to offer all these other options, and the key is the higher profit margin option. So we're printing the same amount of stuff, took the exact same amount of time on the press, but the team was able to make more money, and we were able to make more money just by having those extra options. And everyone knows with state playoffs how fast of a turnaround it is. If we were doing that even on a paper order form, it would have been a nightmare because it would have taken a couple more hours just to add those up and get them in. And we're really on a tight deadline for getting the order in, getting it ordered, getting it printed. So that's really the big difference. Yes?
So I have a question for you. When you're approaching a coach or something like that has an event like this, are you giving him a simple breakdown, not even this elaborate, but maybe, showing some kind of visualization so he understands what he's doing with Team 1 versus Team 2?
Yeah. So we get a lot of coaches, they'll call up and they'll say, hey, or we'll get a hold of them and they made state playoffs or whatever, and we want to get t-shirts. All right, we can do that for you. And we're also going to offer long sleeves and crew necks and dry fits and hoodies because we know the profit margin on those a lot more. And sometimes the coach say, well, I only want to do a t-shirt. Well, we can offer all of them. Some people might want a hoodie or someone might want something else. So we don't really even give them the option to only do a t-shirt only. We basically just explain to them, like, if people want to order anything else, it's not any more work for us to print or to do. And so a lot of times a coach might be under the impression that we don't want to order extra stuff because it's more work. They don't want to put us in a burden, but really we'd rather be printing hoodies and the higher profit margin stuff if we can.
And they're feeding to your sales pitch by saying that, because then you can bring up the web store and
Yeah.
how it'll benefit them and how they can utilize it. Okay.
For sure.
Are those the prices you really use? I'm just asking. They're much lower than, I'm 80 miles north of here in California, and that's much lower than our web stores where we are.
Yeah, no, that's as far as what they're charging the kids.
Yeah, like a $10 shirt, we're charging $18.95 on a web store.
Oh, no, yeah, in our area, that's pretty much what all the schools are charging. Some of them on the t-shirt will go up to 12 or 15 bucks, depending on what it is. But ours are usually pretty much right in that area. The other thing is, On the fast turnaround with this, usually we don't discount the price, too much, just because we got kind of the rush fee and everything else in there. But normally if somebody calls up and orders 800 shirts, you're getting a much lower price break, where on a team store, you kind of guesstimate in there of, okay, where are they going to be at? Is it they're going to order 400? Are they going to order 500? And so you're giving them maybe that 400 price area, and they all of a sudden end up ordering 800 or 1,000 shirts. You just did pretty well on that because you're still at that better price break on your side.
How do you educate like the coaches that you approach on the stores? Do you take like sample store things from them or something? Or?
Yeah, so we got basically a sample store set up. JP, do you guys have basically a mock store, right? Rebecca?
We encourage our customers to create a few examples.
Okay.
Yeah, that way it's branded to them.
Yeah, I've seen a couple in the Facebook group that people have been sharing. So yeah, you set up basically just a sample store, and whatever your business name is, call it that. So we're Envision. So Envision, we call ourselves the Envision Bobcats or whatever. So just set it up as if your business is a team, and you go to the coach, you show the presentation, you say, hey, here's what we can do for your team. And it's showing the logo mocked up on a t-shirt and a long sleeve and a hoodie and everything else, and say, hey, here's what we can do for you. It takes all the work off of you. The biggest thing for the coaches is they don't want to handle the money, and they don't want to handle t-shirts. They don't want to get stuck having extra. The other part about Team 1 and Team 2 is we know all those are 100% fulfilled. The first team, they ordered the 800 shirts. They might be sitting with 20 double X's in the office yet because they didn't sell all 800. They're not spoken for. They're just guessing. Here's what we might sell. So out of that actual profit that the school made, they actually probably got cut down a little bit because they had some shirts left. So that's the other selling point, is you're never going to have a box of shirts sitting in the corner of the office because every shirt is sold because everyone has been pre-ordered. And Team 1, we had to wait 30 days because the PO had to go through all the processing to get our check. And Team 2, we got paid, and then we waited 30 days to actually pay them. So it kind of was nice to work the other way around. So profit tip, I call this round 2. 1 week after customers receive their apparel, we open the store for a second round of ordering. Takes very little effort. Reorders is where the money's at because you already went through all the work the first time. You already got the screens made. You already know what they're ordering. And for round 2, you could even add a couple more items. Does anybody else do this currently? Works out great. So we first came to this and started it after we were getting people calling in and saying, hey, I missed the cutoff. Can I still get my order? And we said, no, you missed the cutoff. We're getting the first order in, but we'll open it up for round 2 after everyone gets their stuff. So that was reason number 1 why we started. Next reason why we did it was everyone would get their orders, and little Susie had a hooded sweatshirt, and she just loved it. And then her sister is sitting there whining to mom and dad because she didn't get a sweatshirt. So mom and dad's calling up saying, well, I got to order another sweatshirt so the kids will shut up at home and keep everybody happy. So that, and then our grandma got something, or sometimes people just get the stuff and they didn't realize how good it was going to look. If you're ordering some different items, let's say, some pieces from Holloway or, whatever it may be, and it's something that they haven't seen before. When they see the actual product, they're like, wow, that turned out really good. It looks really good. I want to order one of those. And then the other thing is, if something was back ordered on the first one, or you had a misprint or something along that line, most likely you're going to be setting it up to print a second time. So you might as well open it back up and offer that round 2 of ordering. So hold the screens for another week, open up round 2. Sometimes it might only be 5 or 6 shirts. Sometimes it might be another 40 or 50 shirts. Yes?
Do you charge them the same on round 2?
Yes. Yep, exact same. Because on our end, we've already got screens. We've already got everything, basically ready to go.
You're planning the screen, you're holding it for a week on purpose.
Yeah.
And then on the initial setup of the store, what you charge them, you said, hey, they're shooting for 400 pieces. What if they come in pretty under that and they were really optimistic, but it just bombed?
We have a pretty good idea, the size of the team, the sport, pretty much almost exactly where they're going to be, especially if it's school it's been going, we've been doing year after year. I mean, I can almost tell you down to the sizes of what a school is going to order.
But if you're prospecting,
Yeah, if you're prospecting, always pad down a little bit. And so, let's just say you're figuring they're going to order 100 shirts and they only order 50. You kind of, bid it a little bit on that one, but then maybe the next 3 schools order 300 shirts and you were charging at the 100 price. So you might eat it on a few, but then you make it up on some other ones. The law of averages, you should be pretty close.
One question for you. How much competition do you have in your area? Competitors?
None. No, we take them all out with these. No, we've got, everyone's got competition. So we've got, so we've got probably 3 or 4 or 5 other screen printers in our town. Some of them are offering web stores as well. So, you've got the competitors out there. So you try to add additional services that maybe they're not offering. One of them, a couple of our competitors charge for bagging the order individually. They charge $2, some of them charge $5 per person to bag an order. And if a kid on the team only orders 1 t-shirt, it's a $10 shirt, they're getting charged $5 to bag that one shirt. It's easy for us to take that from the competition, I guess. You're gonna deal with competition. So if there is other competitors in your local area that you're competing against and they're also doing web stores, find out how to add additional services or variety or something to set yourself apart from them. If there's other screen printers in your area that are not doing web stores and you're currently not doing web stores, do this and then you'll be ahead of the game on them. So we were the first on in our area, and you go to a coach, you say you're doing this, and they're like, it's just, so if your competitors aren't, get on it. If your competitors are and you aren't, you better get going or they're going to start gobbling up the rest of the teams from you. Company stores. So company stores are great. The thing I love most about company stores is the recurring revenue. We're making money while we sleep. I love coming in on Monday morning and seeing the list populated with all these orders that came in. And so company stores, we do a couple different things. Most of them, so usually our company stores are 50 employees and up. So they got a lot of employees that are going on and ordering. And how we get these stores is when a company is growing, 50 employees, 100, 300 employees, whatever that number is, a lot of times that job is on the HR person. So if you want to know who the gatekeeper is to get into a company store at larger companies, it's the HR person. The HR person takes care of the uniforms, all the other stuff when it comes to employees. So get to the HR person, and we've gotten a lot of stores where we've gone to the HR person and they literally are overwhelmed trying to keep spreadsheets and kind of keep track of employees that are ordering stuff or wanting company apparel, or there's no system set up at all. So we set up the company store, and again, it takes it off their plate. They don't have to deal with money. They don't have to deal with keeping track of the orders. We do it, we fulfill it, we ship it to them, or we drop it off at their business, and then all they got to do is get the person to pick it up. Yes?
So when you're talking about a company store, you're talking more corporate wear for a specific business that is contracting with you to do their
Yes, so a bank, insurance company, large manufacturing, anything like that. About 99% of the items in company stores is embroidery, and then we embroider on demand. So usually we'll do them in batches of, we'll go about a week at a time. So orders are coming on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We'll try to embroider for that particular business on Friday. We'll try to capture all the orders Monday through Thursday and then do them at one time. So you might have 5 orders on Monday, 3 on Tuesday, 4 on Wednesday, 1 on Thursday, and we do them all at once so we can load up the embroidery machine on Friday and do all for that business in one day. And then we do an open and close period for screen print items. So if they're doing a company picnic, or they want to do company t-shirts for a 5K run, or they want to do company t-shirts for St. Patty's Day. And so that allows us to add that product on, open the store up, we'll put a big headline at the top says St. Patty's Day t-shirts closed, must order before this date, and that's the close date. So just like the team stores, we have an open and close just on that specific product then. And that allows us to collect all those orders for that product. After the close date, we add them all up, order them, and then print them all at one time. If you have DTG, you're able to have the screen printed or the decorated items on there for DTG, and then you can just do them on demand. But we're not set up with DTG, so with the screen printed stuff, we'll do open and close periods, and even just regular company apparel. They say, hey, we want to do some hoodies or we want to do some t-shirts, so we'll do an open and close period. Another thing we do with a couple of larger companies, 1,000 employees or more, we know that they're going to have enough volume that we can leave screen printed stuff on there, and what we do with them is do it in chunks of 2 weeks at a time. So we'll collect all the screen printed orders that come in for 2 weeks, we'll order it all, and then we'll print it. And for those companies, we're literally printing every 2 weeks for them. Yes.
Do you guys do promotional products also?
Yes.
Again, do you incorporate that in with your company stores to where their salesmen can go on and buy bulk items of, 500 pens to hand out to maybe just one salesperson's all their customers, that kind of thing?
Yes and no. So some of that's in client stores, which I'll be talking about next. This is more of each employee going on and just wanting to order one stuff for themselves individually.
Gotcha.
And so this isn't set up as a fundraiser store. You're going in the back end and shutting off those screen printed items when it's done.
Yep. Okay. The other nice thing about the company stores that we've had great success in is gift cards, and the company's using them as incentives. So we get the manager says, hey, I want to reward all my employees in my department with $50 in corporate apparel. So we need 50 codes for $50 each, and then we send them the discount code for that. And again, we invoice up front, and then they're able to use those, and that's been a really nice tool. So if you're working with these different companies and company stores, let them know that this works as a great incentive. It's awesome because it rewards the employees. The employees are buying into the work culture, and they're also promoting and wearing that company apparel. So it's like a win-win for the company itself.
Is there any reason you choose not to do DTG, or you just haven't got around to it?
We haven't gotten to it yet. Most likely we'll be adding it in the next 12 months, I'd say. It's on the Christmas list today. Looked at.
Yes, we're on the fence about that too.
Yeah. I mean, our I don't know if, the last couple years we wanted to make sure our volume was there to be able to run it consistently. And I think we're there now, and especially on the smaller orders, the reorders, and then to be able to take advantage of all the company stores that we got set up, right now that just have embroidery, where we can just leave the screen printed items on the whole time and just be doing, one-offs with the DTG. I think it'll really work well adding that in there. So here's how we maximize some more profit from the company stores. We do different sales and events. So Black Friday and Cyber Monday, we offer a discount code, 20% off. Sometimes we change it. We might do a thing that says buy one, get one free. We might do buy a hoodie, we're gonna give you a free t-shirt. Buy something, we give you a free hat. So all sorts of different sales that you can do on there. And so you just wanna keep switching up. So just putting a company store up, you don't want it to get stale. You wanna keep it new. So when they log in and somebody in the accounting department goes, they see something new and fresh. So whether it's new product at the beginning of the page or a sale or something else, you want to keep updating it. Usually with the seasons it works well. You can add a jacket on and stuff like that in the fall. In the spring and summer, start switching that clothing out. New hire packs, so someone gets hired at these bigger companies, you can do like kind of a package together. So you can have a polo and maybe a water bottle and something else, and have it all in one package and do a package deal for them. And so football, so my brothers all went to Iowa State University, and so they're big fans there. So if you got big rivalries in your towns, whether it's local high schools or state or local colleges, the company apparel with those school colors always works well during football season. And then of course holidays, St. Patty's Day, 4th of July, Christmas, we do ugly sweater designs on t-shirts and crew necks. And last year, I think we were over $250,000 in sales just from ugly Christmas sweater type designs. And that, like 3 years ago, that wasn't really a thing. And so those were just like extra sales we got from these companies by taking their design, incorporating it into something else. And so the holidays is like one more thing you can get on there, and that's another part of like keeping it fresh and keeping something kind of going every month. Yes?
When you add on things on the company stores like jackets or hoodies, whatever, do you get permission from HR to add those products?
Yeah, sometimes they'll say to us, they'll say, hey, we want to add this, or we'll email or call them and say, hey, season change, or we got this coming up, or we got a sale on this, can we add it to the company store? And then when we do that, they'll send out a company-wide email that says, hey, check out the company store, we got a new product on there. So they're helping do your marketing for you, which is awesome. So next one's client stores. And client stores, in the next 3 years, this is what we're going to use to take our online stores to over $5 million in sales. And this is probably the perspective most people do not think about or look at when it comes to online stores. The two biggest that we just talked about are team stores and company stores. And the biggest one we're going to is client stores. And here's what client stores are all about. So basically, company stores are generally going to be the larger companies with several employees, and all the employees are ordering. Client store is specific to the client where only one or two people are doing the ordering. So it might be Joe's Lawn Care. Joe comes in every year and he orders t-shirts and hooded sweatshirts. Joe's the only one that orders for his company, so the client store is set up specifically for Joe. He calls it his ordering portal. It's his private link to his own store just for Joe. No one else has seen this but Joe. Now what this is doing is eliminating the time Joe has to make a trip to our shop and place the order. It's eliminating the time for our front desk person, our salesperson, to decipher Joe's chicken scratch on a piece of paper that they can't read, and all of his other stuff on there, and just the time working up front with him. So Joe's able to go on, click on his gray t-shirt, add in that he needs 6 smalls and 12 mediums and 12 larges and 12 extra larges, and hit place the order, and he's able to place those orders. So the great thing with the client stores is it makes the reorders really easy. Joe comes in, he orders, and he used to only order twice a year. He'd order every year in the spring before the lawn season starts, and he'd order again in the fall as is kind of getting into cooler weather. So now we send Joe an email every 3 months Say, Joe, you need to order shirts, just want to make sure everything's good in case you hired a few new employees, whatever it may be. Maybe you got an event coming up, you want to hand some shirts out at a parade. So we send him the link, and he's able to click and order really quickly. Other thing is cross-selling. So Joe logs in, and he's got his t-shirt and his hood sweatshirt. It's the only 2 items he's ever ordered for the last 5 years that we've been working with him. And Joe logs into his thing for his reorder, and all of a sudden, there's a crew neck and there's a long sleeve on there, and check out this hat. And we've got it all mocked up because it's real easy to do. Basically a couple clicks of the button, we can have a few more items on there, and Joe sees a hat and he thinks, well gosh, I never ordered hats before. Let me just we're going to add 6 of those, see what those look like, and I never had the crew necks before, so let's just add a couple of those as well. So it makes it really easy to upsell and offer some other items to that customer that normally they might not have been offering. Another thing is you can show different colors mocked up, and maybe they're going to order some more of a different color as well. Upsells, same deal. You can offer a discount or a freebie if they buy more. So if typically he's always just buying 48 shirts, every time he's buying 48 shirts, and you put some headline on there that says, buy 72 shirts, we're going to give you a free coffee mug and a blanket. And the next order he comes in, he's ordering 72, and he gets used to ordering 72 every time. We're just throwing a few freebies in with it. And the other thing is adding new clients. So to set up these web stores is so simple. When we go out prospecting, we make a list. All right, who do we want our clients to be? Or someone says, hey, I got a meeting with so-and-so construction company coming up on Friday. Boom, set a web store up for them. We go into that meeting. Hey, here's your own ordering portal. You have your own thing. You can go on, and we have everything already mocked up for them. Another competitor of ours, we don't have competitors anymore because we have this great tool. Competitor of ours goes in there and is fumbling around on their notepad and, okay, well, what do you want? Okay, and I'll call you back or maybe email you next week with a quote. And right away, we're able to show them a web store. They see it mocked up. We showed the initiative that we put time into their company. We care about them. And, if we show that work on the front end, they know and they trust us that we're going to put that work in all the way through the customer experience with them. Yes?
Do you have like a standard set of garments that you typically work with so that your production is easier, or do you kind of let them see what's there and then they can pick whatever they want, or how do you work that?
We try to keep it, so on the team stores and most company stores, we try to keep it really simple. Usually 12 or less products. If you add too many, it's too many options and people can't make up a decision. If you go into a meeting and you take the Sanmar SNS catalog, everyone's going to be like, oh my God, what am I going to choose? They don't need 50 different t-shirts to choose, they just want a t-shirt. So they don't care about the brand a lot of times, they just want a t-shirt. So we keep it real simple. Every single store we do has, at a minimum, the same 6 items, and that is the Gildan t-shirt, the Gildan long sleeve, the Gildan crew neck, the Gildan hoodie. So you got those 4, I don't care if you use Gildan or Hanes, whatever it is. So those 4 basics, and then you do a basic dry fit hoodie. Those are the main 6 items, and as long as you stay consistent with the same brand, it keeps everything really easy on production, keeps things easy on ordering, and everything else. So get those 6 core items in. Then after that, we add in a few other items, a quarter zip, maybe a jacket, whatever else is tailored to that specific either company or team. With the companies, we do go beyond that then, and so depending if it's a bank or an insurance company, we get into the polos or dress shirts and fleeces, stuff like that. So we expand that part of the product line. And same with those, we try to keep it simple. If you're ordering if you have 10 different vendors on one web store, it's a nightmare, especially when all of a sudden you only had 2 sales from one vendor and 2 sales from another vendor and 2 from another. On receiving, you got all the stuff coming in, the person ordering is trying to order from all these different places. So we try to simplify it. Whoever your go-to person is, whether it's Sam or Alpha or whoever it is, try to keep it simple on these stores. So when you go to order, it's coming from one company and the receiving is coming from one company, or at least, keep it to a minimum of a couple of companies. Yes?
On your client stores, those seem like they're relatively small. Do you actually have clients who order a lot of items as a client? It seems like that would be more the company store. You would want employees going on there and ordering, because people don't, like Joe's lawn service, he's probably only ordering a few things, right?
No, so it could be anywhere from, so this is every client that's either coming in, calling, or emailing in, just ordering for themselves. It's saving them the opportunity of coming in, a phone call or an email where they can easily log in, they can visually see their product. And so there's a brewery that we have a client store set up for. The brewery's got one person in charge of the merchandise. They've got 8 different designs. What happened is they used to email in and then 3 or 4 emails back and forth to be able to figure out which design specifically he wanted and what colors and the sizes. And by the time we deciphered all the colors and sizes and different designs, it was like 10 emails back and forth. Where now that client is able to log into his client ordering portal or his own store. He can see the 8 different designs, the color options for each one, and he can click on design 1, put in whatever inventory he needs for their brewery, add that to the cart. He can click on design 3, add those to the cart. So it just makes it easier and more simplified, whether Joe's Lawn Care has one design and 2 products, or it's a brewery that's got 8 different designs and maybe 20 different products. It just simplifies it and makes it easier for them to order.
So these are shirts that they would sell to people that come into the brewery and want to buy a shirt because they like them.
Yeah. So whether that client is giving them out to employees or they're selling them, reselling them, whatever else, it's that client that is just your everyday client that's coming through the door. The key is to make it simple for them to order. They can go on, they can order, they can reorder. You can upsell them by adding those products on there. Yes?
The client stores, the ordering portals, do you just keep them open?
Yeah, so they're just open all year round.
When you're prospecting to your clients, do you actually try to capture their artwork and mock it up into their own store, or do you just do more of a generic presentation?
We capture it. Yeah, we go on their website, however we can. We get their logo, because then, like I said, when you go into that presentation and you can pull this up on your iPad and show that, it's such and such construction company and you've got it all mocked up and they can see it on different products. It's like, wow, that's way cooler than, going through a catalog and trying to figure stuff out. So if it's already mocked up and it shows you put the work and the effort in on the front end to want to, in their eyes, they probably think you spent a couple days on that. In reality, you could probably do that in, half hour. So Fundraising Stores is the last one. And there's an open and close period, easy to reach a large audience. The fundraising goals, the psychology behind having the meter on there and attaining those goals and offering a variety of items, and you're able to pre-sell before the event and increase the order size and ship to supporters from anywhere. So I'm going to use an example of someone in your town has breast cancer and they want to do a fundraiser for them. So the old way, they would come in and say, hey, we're going to do this benefit for Jane and we want to order 100 shirts for the benefit and sell them at the benefit. And I said, all right, well, let's set up a web store for them. And they said, all right, well, what's that? So we explained to them. And so instead of just t-shirts again, we're able to offer t-shirts and long sleeves, and we can put a pink hat on there, and we can offer multiple items on there. So the nice thing is we can order multiple items. And the other nice thing is Jane's got friends that are in California. She's got friends in Florida and Massachusetts and all over the place that also want to support them. Whereas if they only ordered the 100 shirts at that event, those friends from out of town wouldn't be able to show that support as well as having this ability on the web store. So we're pulling in support on these fundraisers, and this works the same if it's a fundraiser for, you know, any nonprofit really, that if you've got support from all over the US, you can really capture all of that from all over the place with the web stores. And so you have the variety of items, you've got the ship to stores anywhere, and the pre-sale. So the other part is they say, we want 100 shirts for this event. We're not sure, we might need 200, we might only need 50, they really don't know. So what we say is we open up the store before the event. As we get closer, we close it usually about a week before the event, and we let whoever's organizing it say, and we tell them, we say, hey, great news, we pre-sold 100 of them online. 40 of them went to outside of our area, to people that probably aren't even coming to the event. The other 60 are local. How many do you think we need for the event now? And it gives us a little bit better of a guess of what they need for the event, because they have a measure of what they pre-sold, and then it also helps them possibly get up to a better price break as well. So they say, all right, well, we still think we're going to sell 100 at the event. They can then, you know, get up to the 144 price break and make a little bit more money on that fundraiser. Yes?
Are you providing them with a link, or can people just Google the store and it'll pop up, or do they have to embed that on their own website?
Provide them with a link. Yep.
Do you buy them a separate domain, or you just use it as an extension of your store?
We just use an extension of ours. Yeah. So you can set them up with the domain, but ours, we just do it, and then that way all of the people that are going on and ordering from that see our primary domain, and, you know, it might drive some sales in some other areas. All right, so how to market the stores using social media. It's very powerful, and there's a lot of different ways to do it. So Facebook, you can do targeted ads. If you're doing it for the Bobcat football team, you can target those ads just to everyone that went to Western Dubuque High School, and it's only going to pop up for those people. So you can specifically target the ads. You can post. So what we do is we'll do a mock-up of all the items in a thing, and, you know, put a headline on it, you know, support the football team, buy school merch, and we'll tag the school in it, we'll share it, we'll tell the coach to share it, and, you know, the kids start sharing it or tagging people. They're able to do it that way and see the link. On corporate stores, we do the same thing on LinkedIn, and then Twitter and Instagram. So go where the buyers go. For the high schoolers now, a lot of them are on Instagram, so be posting that stuff on Instagram. If you think the audience is more on Facebook, try to hit wherever their eyeballs are. And incorporate non-social media marketing with the stores. So I talked about email already. The great thing about stores, like I said, is you don't only have one customer, you've got every customer that orders from you. So you have, the powerful thing is you have all these email addresses, and you know specifically what they're interested in, the team that they support, the school that they support, the business that they work for, and what they can do. So you can use, you know, Aweber, MailChimp, ConvertKit, any type of email system to be shooting out these things and get these reorders, future promotions, whatever it may be. The other thing, posters, you know, real easy to do, an 8x10 flyer of all the items on it. And I mean, it's as old school marketing as it gets, but you print it off, hang them up around the school or at the break room in the corporate office, and it gives them a reminder to go on, order something, especially if there's new items in the corporate store. They print it off, hang it in the break room. So they get the email out from the HR person saying, hey, there's a new item. They get the reminder in the break room that's posted or wherever the time clock is. And it's just one more easy way To do it, you have your graphic designer set that up, email it to whoever's in charge and say, hey, please print this out, hang it, you know, in the hallway, hang it wherever, and get some more eyeballs on that.
All complimentary services, I assume?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't cost you anything more. And again, with the poster, you know, you put your logo nice and fat at the bottom with all your contact information, and someone sees that and they don't care to order another company t-shirt, but they might need shirts for a family reunion or something else, and you've got, you know, a company of 700 people, you got 700 people that are seeing your logo on that poster, so free advertising. So here's a couple examples of some banners that we've put on Facebook. And real simple, just, you know, open a free online store, earn fundraising, no inventory. So you just highlight different things and show the stuff mocked up. All right, so connecting the marketing efforts to the sales and how it all works. So gathering information, the Dream 100, setting up a sample store, retargeting, follow-up emails in round 2, repeat stores, and number of stores versus average cart value. The Dream 100 is something I think is really cool. In Dubuque, Iowa, if nobody knows it yet, there is John Deere's headquarters there. So 2 years ago, someone said, you guys print stuff for John Deere? And I said, no. They're like, why not? I said, I don't know, I guess I never got a hold of them. I never reached out. And I realized that I was like, I just didn't really have them on my list or anything, you know, for that matter. And then I'm thinking to myself, well, why not? Why do I not have them on there? So I called the Dream 100. Sit down, write down your top Dream 100 clients that you'd want to work with. So look at maybe who your bigger clients are right now, who your best clients are, the ones that you love to work with that are really easy, not the ones that are big pain in the ass. They're really easy ones. And say, if I had 100 more clients just like this one, how easy life would be and how great that would be, and write those down. Once you have those written down, you can start actively making a plan to reach out to them. All right, I got my 100. Now I'm going to set up a mock web store for each one of those 100. You can start out with just the top 10. Now you got the store set up. Now you say, all right, who works there that I know? Who can maybe get me in the door? Someone at the chamber might be able to connect me. What is my connection into this company, into John Deere? How can I get into John Deere? They're on my Dream 100 list. I want to work with John Deere. I've got the web store set up. I met somebody last week. He's an accountant there. Maybe that accountant can get me in with the HR person or the marketing person. I got to get in there. So we got it set up, and we got in there. We do the presentation, and we're in. But without that direction, without that focus of who your Dream 100 is, who you want to work with, you're not going to get that client. And you'd be surprised, they're a lot easier to land than what you think. You have all the tools to do it. Mark?
Yeah. Are you using LinkedIn to connect?
Yes. LinkedIn is very powerful for this, so you can see who your connections are, who has a second tiered connection to that, and you're able to use that to maybe get introduced to somebody, you know, who maybe the buyer is, or the HR person, or the marketing, or whatever. So LinkedIn is very great to see that network. You can search the company, you can see everyone that's working at that company, you can see someone that's 1 or 2 degrees away from that, and you would be so surprised that you're only a couple degrees away from Fortune 500 companies, and you know, a lot of potential value out there. Yeah.
So one tip that works really, really well with LinkedIn is that when you look at your second degree connections to the individual, call 2 or 3 or 4 of those individuals and ask them to make an introduction on your behalf as a really great printer. And so all of a sudden they're calling the HR person and they're getting like 3 referrals about this company from people that they know, it provides social proof, and all of a sudden, it's not just another guy trying to sell shirts. You're somebody special because they got these unsolicited inquiries from people that they know.
Yeah, it's very powerful. So if it's a relative or a good friend or somebody that's in the company and working at that company, having that referral and that person kind of go to bat for you is very powerful. It's way better than just cold calling and saying, all right, I'm going to walk into John Deere and sell them some shirts today. And they're going to be like, see ya. You know, so having that inside connection makes all the difference in the world. So set up some sample stores, retargeting. If you're using the Facebook Pixel, get that out there so you can chase people around on the internet and get their stores set up for them. Again, follow up on the emails, round 2, and repeating stores. Once you have the team one set up one time, it's very easy to keep resetting them back up.
What do you mean by Facebook Pixel?
That is a whole nother conversation. Google the Facebook Pixel if you're not using that currently. That is how everyone is making money targeting specific people, tracking them. So if you go to Walmart.com and you're looking at a fishing pole, and then you go to some other website, you go to your local news website, and the little ad in the corner shows that fishing pole following you around, you go to another one, that's how they're doing it with Facebook Pixel. Yeah. So it drops a little target on where you're going, and then follows you around until you buy.